Let's go ahead and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the March 6th meeting of the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays. I represent District 3, and I'm the chair this year. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook. He represents District 2, and on my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. We've got our county clerk, Lisa Schmidt, down there, and Ashley Beeger is representing the counselor's office today. So welcome to both of you as well. Let's go ahead and dive in. First item, please.
All right, first item on the agenda that we have something for is item 3, consent agenda.
We've got several items on the consent agenda. I would move for approval if everybody's okay with that.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
Item 4, new business, A, county clerk. 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, our total voucher payments is $6,158,002.29. Our significant payments include $292,099 to TLG operations for the purchase of a heavy-duty truck funded by solid waste fees. There's $850,000 to the Kansas Department of Transportation for the Willard Bridge loan payment funded by the half-cent sales tax. We have 2 years remaining on that. And then $243,621.08 to the Department of Health and Environment for loan payments funded by the Sherwood Improvement District. If there's no questions or comments, I would move for approval of the vouchers.
I'll second that. We've got a motion by Commissioner Rippon and a second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
B, health department. 1, consider approval for the Shawnee County Health Department to apply for the Kansas Department of Health and Environment Regional Public Health Emergency Preparedness Aid to Local Grant for state fiscal year 2026.
Morning, Commissioners. Craig Barnes, Health Department. The item before you is a reoccurring annual grant item for us. You will see no change in the grant submission for what we've asked for per what we got allocated last year as well as the year before. This is our regional preparedness grant, a grant that we use. We are the fiscal agent and the regional coordinator for what's called the Northeast Regionalization Corner Initiative. And so this is 8 counties that we help and assist with as it relates to public health emergency preparedness initiatives. And so we have this grant itself pays for 40% of one of our emergency preparedness community outreach specialists that helps coordinate those meetings with the rest of the administrators from those other 7 counties in our region. So I stand for any questions you may have.
Questions for Craig?
I do not have any.
None.
All right.
I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Next item, please.
C, Public Works. 1, consider awarding the bid letting to Bettis Asphalt and Construction Company of Topeka for a road improvement project on Northwest 46th between Fielding and Rochester Roads at a cost of $10,215,740.40 and authorization and execution of construction contract C79-2025 with the same entity. The construction will be paid using the 2017 through 2031 half-cent retailer's sales tax program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. Back on February 21st, we had a bid letting. We received 2 bids. They were fantastic bids. The low bid was presented by Bettis Asphalt and Construction. I'm here before you recommending that you accept that low bid and we move forward with construction. If you accept the bid, I'm also asking you to authorize and execute a contract for such construction work. I suspect you have a lot of questions, and I do look forward to them.
I don't know that I have a lot of questions, but you and I talked yesterday. There have been concerns with the safety of diverting traffic across the highway, specifically students and buses from Seaman High School. And so do you want to talk about, we kind of talked about some options, and so do you want to mention kind of what we came up with?
Okay, from the very beginning, we've talked about two detours, two signed detours. Now, the detour on 62nd Street, likely because of the intersection with US 75, has gotten the most press or the most discussions. But I want to remind the public that there are two signed detours, one using Rochester Road and Northwest 62nd, and originally we had envisioned using US 75. What we're going to do is we're going to substitute Button Road for US 75. So people, the signed detour will not utilize the intersection at Northwest 62nd and US 75. And then again, I want to stress, there's also a roundabout, there's also a detour, a signed detour that uses Rochester Road and US 35 that connects via interchange with US 75.
35th Street.
What did I say?
You said US 35.
Okay, yeah,
Different
35th
road,
Street.
different
Yeah,
road,
you
yeah.
bet, too many roads, yeah. Rochester Road, 35th Street, and then US 75. So, and then in addition, there are other ways for people to get to their preferred destination. And that was shown on the various aerials that our design consultant has prepared. So, then back to 62nd Street. Again, we're substituting US 75 for Button Road. And if necessary, we are preparing to create all-way stops at the intersections of Northwest 62nd and Button Road and Northwest 62nd and Rochester.
Yeah, and the purpose of the stop signs would be basically to alleviate any concerns that they might just drive right past the detour sign. And so that would hopefully make people stop, see the sign, and then turn to avoid it. One of the other things that I would really like to see, and I don't know which one of us needs to handle this, but I think we need to talk to Seaman School District and make sure that they educate their students, their bus drivers, their parents on the signed detours and make a recommendation that students do not cross Highway 75 there during the construction process. So I know
think
you're on the
Deputy Director
Intergovernmental
Hunt has already.
Cooperation
Oh, I'm
Council.
sorry.
Do one of you guys want to head that up, or I can call and talk to the district, or, I mean, it's.
Deputy Director Hunt, I believe, has already reached out to the school district. They are aware of the construction. Is there anything else you might want to add, come up here and add as far as your conversations?
Well, I met with the transportation.
Come on up, please.
Yeah.
Morning, Jeff Hunt, Deputy Director of Public Works. I met at the public meeting the other night. I did meet with the Seaman Transportation Specialist, and we had a long discussion. We exchanged contact information, so she will definitely be updated. They're really just kind of in flux right now to see kind of how it happens, and they haven't quite adjusted their routes yet, but they're working on it to see how it plays out.
I think we need more than that, Jeff. I mean, in all due respect to you and Kurt, we've got spring break and really starting the week of the 17th. So if we start this project next week, you're going to have folks that are going to be leaving for spring break, and then they're going to come back, and they're going to have a road closure. So if we get the communication out immediately, we're going to have that before people leave for spring break. Because again, I don't know that we need this chaos when people are coming back from spring break and their whole route has now been disrupted. So again, communication, getting something out. If we can get the Seaman School District to send out something on an email blast, I know they do to their parents. They have emails that go out to all the parents to tell them about everything from activities to teacher conferences. This would be a great one. Saying 46th Street's going to be closed beginning on this date. So
Yeah, March 12th is the date. I've already talked to Amanda about that. We'll be getting a public notice out just as soon as this item is awarded, If it's awarded, we'll get that taken care of. I will contact Seaman today, this afternoon, and get a hold of a contact. I've already talked to Amanda to make sure that they get sent the email blast that's gonna go out. But I'll make a personal phone call to them to reach out to somebody at Seaman to make sure they're aware of it and request if they could send out an email blast to what they have on record.
Yeah, so the school buses are definitely a concern, but they are paid, trained, professional drivers. I'm not nearly as concerned about that as the 14-year-old kid that's driving to school. And so I want to make sure that the students are educated on which way to go, probably more than anything. And so I think the superintendent's probably the person to talk to.
Yeah. And I'll give them notice that we're discouraging that they use the 75 highway,
Okay.
even though it won't be the posted detour.
Right, but you know how kids are. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we want to make sure that they know for sure, and probably hear it multiple times. So, any other questions?
No, I think that communication is going to be the key to this project all the way through. But yes.
I attended one of the public meetings up there, and the two things I heard was, one was all the detours and everything, which I think you guys have handled very well. And I think we had you guys had a good handout showing all the alternative routes that they could use. The other thing I was hearing was the timing of the project. And after hearing all the other projects going on, I think this is the best time to do this project. When you look at what's going on with the Pope Quincy Viaduct, you look at what's going on with 75 Highway and Rochester Road coming up in the future, I think this is the time to do it. So I applaud you for the timing of this as well. So I know you can't please everybody, but I think the stars have aligned here. This is the time to do it.
Well, and to piggyback on that, I think a lot of the current concerns that have been raised, I've had a couple people that have mentioned to me we should delay this project, and I think that the problem with that is that, number one, it's going to abut up with the Rochester Road project, which causes bigger concerns. But I think also all that does is just increase the price of the project. The concerns are going to be the same concerns, whether it's 2 years from now or 5 years from now. I mean, it's still going to be an inconvenience to the folks that live up there. It always is. We're going to see that on Auburn Road this year. We're going to see it on 45th Street when we go back and do that again. I mean, the inconvenience of construction is a real thing. We want to do the best we can to make sure that it happens as fast as possible and get it reopened through traffic. I had a conversation with Bettis. They said that they would work real hard to make sure that would happen, assuming that we award the bid today. But I think that, you know, it's not ideal, but no construction project ever is. And we are trusted to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. And the last thing we want to do is drive up the project cost to accomplish the same thing and just spend more money on it. So I think that now probably is the best time to do it.
So just a couple questions, Chair. This project did come in under what engineer's estimate? So the estimate was 13 million. The bid is a little over 10 million.
Yeah, we saved approximately, $3 million.
Okay. And then I'm looking at the contract, it looks like we've increased our damages if they don't meet their deadlines. Is that, and so
We
we're,
recently increased that, not just for this project, but we thought it was time to increase the penalties for liquidated damages, yes.
okay. And so we're gonna be holding a tight line on our contractor to make sure they stay on track and on task.
We will meet with the contractor regularly on this project, like we've done on past projects, to make sure the project is advanced to our satisfaction.
Right. Kurt, you and I had a conversation yesterday about one of the frustrations as a motorist is when you see an area blocked out and you see no work happening and you drive by it day after day and it's blocked out with no work happening and you wonder as the taxpayer, what's going on here? Are these my tax dollars being wasted? I think it's going to be very crucial that we have regular communication, even if not necessary, just from you even coming up during administrative communications saying, this is where we're at on the project, and so that our media can report it, and the more communication we can get out, working with Amanda and Stephanie on our public works, just just letting people know, even though you may not see crews working, there may be things that are happening that you're not aware of.
Absolutely. Don't forget, we have cure periods for concrete. We have, maybe they're working down off the side of the road and you just can't see them. But nevertheless, yes, it is frustrating when you are being inconvenienced and you drive by and you don't think anything's happening. I understand that frustration, and we will try to communicate progress accordingly.
All right, appreciate that. You did make some changes in addition to some stop signs on 62nd Street, Rochester Road, and again, more traffic control devices.
Well, first of all, what I want to do is take the existing intersections at Northwest 62nd and Rochester, Northwest 62nd and Button Road. These are the locations where people have to turn. There's a concern about left turns. There's always some concern if there's a increase in traffic, east-west traffic on 62nd, can people cross 62nd? Well, people going north-south on Rochester Road, can they cross 62nd? And in order to, put some of those fears at bay, we will add an all-way stop at those locations. In order for me to do that, I will have to come before the commission because that is a change. That's a regulatory change. So next Thursday, I will come before the commission with those changes and signing.
Okay. I think those are good moves too. Addressing the safety concerns, addressing all of that. I share the concern with the business owners on how is this going to affect my business. I'm not ignoring that. I think this is a concern. Anytime you're changing traffic flow and how people get from one spot to another, people are going to have to adjust. And again, communication is going to have to be the key to this.
And just a reminder, we focus on 62nd Street, but 35th Street, we may need to make some changes there at intersections. So we'll be monitoring. I've asked Jeff to get out there, be on the road, monitor traffic on both detours. Again, there's 2 detours, signed detours, and if we have to make changes to the 35th Street detour, we will also do that.
Yeah. But from what I'm hearing from my fellow commissioners this morning, there's no desire to delay this project, there's no desire to put this project on hold, and that we should be moving forward as the taxpayers' stewards today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we award the bid.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
2, under Public Works, consider approval of contract C80-2025, amendment number 1 to contract C6363-2022 with SBB Engineering LLC for CE services related to a road improvement project on Northwest 46th Street from Fielding to Rochester Roads.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. Now that we have a project, we need project inspection and construction engineering, and that is the item before you now. If possible, we would like you to approve this amendment number 1 to an original design contract back in 2022, and this will allow us to have great eyes on the project and on the quality of the work. I look forward to your questions.
Questions?
I would move for approval.
I'll second. Motion by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
C3, consider approval of contract C74-2025, amendment number 1 to contract C351-2019 with Finney and Turnip Seed for additional design and CE services related to a culvert replacement project on Southeast Barrington Road near Southeast 69th Street.
Good morning, Commissioners. We've been working on a project in the Barrington community for quite some time. It is a culvert replacement project. That's what's driven this project from the very beginning. But as part of that project, we have a short segment of road improvements that we want to do. Essentially, what's happened is there were 3 structures. In order to tear out those structures, you have to disturb the road, and we would like to use this opportunity for having a road closure to improve the pavement in the area. But again, this project has had a long gestation period. We've just recently had all the utilities relocated, and so our consultant has spent a lot of time during the right-of-way acquisition phase, during the utility relocation phase, expending funds that were not anticipated in the original contract. So this is amendment number 1. This makes us right with the services that have been provided by Finney and Turnipseed. I look forward to your questions.
So I mentioned a minute ago how delaying a project can cost more money, and this is a perfect example. We've delayed this project for probably 2 years to address the landowner concerns around there. And everything on this project has been more expensive than what we had anticipated.
Couldn't agree more.
This is a perfect example of how the delays just cost money. So, any other questions?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second that. So motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
C4, consider approval of a project budget and a request to solicit construction bids for a culvert replacement project on Southeast Barryton Road over a tributary to Lynn Creek near Southeast 69th. Construction will be paid for using a combination of special road improvement and special bridge funds.
Courtney, House Director of Public Works. This item relates to the previous item. This is actually the project itself. You have a project budget in front of you. I also am asking permission to solicit bids for construction, as the county clerk said. When we first started right-of-way acquisition, we anticipated a construction cost of $1.4 million, and as you can see in the project budget, it has gone up to $1.8 million. So with that, I look forward to your questions.
Questions? Okay, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Cook. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
C5, consider approval of project budget and a request to solicit construction bids relating to the maintenance and repairs of 4 Shawnee County parking lots, including 2 at the courthouse and 2 at the Health Department's main office building.
Courtney, House Director of Public Works. This is what we've identified for 2025 roof and parking lot funds. From a parking lot standpoint, yes, we would like to do some concrete and repair work, some crack sealing, and some just general maintenance work to the parking lots at the courthouse. This would be the northeast parking lot and what I call the sunken judicial parking lot next to the building. It will require some temporary relocation of those using the stalls, not the whole parking lot, but in sections at a time. I will work through Nelda, and she has agreed to assist in communicating with those that are going to be inconvenienced during this work. Again, for the northeast parking lot, we won't push everyone out of the parking lot at one time. We'll probably concentrate on one row at a time. Those people will be temporarily relocated. When that work is done, they'll be able to come back. As far as the health department goes, there will be absolutely no inconvenience because all we're doing to those parking lots is a crack seal and a general pavement seal, and they can do that work over the weekend. So there should be very little impact to the health department. I anticipate that the total cost will be around $180,000, and as such, we're requesting approval of this project, and I look forward to your questions.
Kurt, let's go back to the courthouse parking lot over there. The 3 of us are all very familiar with that parking lot. That's where we used to park. So, I don't want to put the camel's nose under the tent, but have we looked at the storm water drainage in that? Because it appears that the inlets are maybe failing a little bit, or they were at one time. I mean, have we inspected that at all?
We have not. Of course, if facilities would like us to get involved in that aspect of the parking lot, we can sure look at that. I was honestly not tasked with that issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Commissioner Mays, I
yeah.
think that Nelda's at the back of the room, Nelda Henning, Facility Management. We may have addressed some of that about a year ago, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about, as my parking stall was over the drain, and there were times in the past where I would come out and it would be almost knee-deep where the drain was not draining. Thankfully, my Jeep sat up a little bit higher, so if I had a low-profile vehicle, I would have been in real trouble. But I think that we did address some of that drainage issue about a year ago. Nelda, is that correct?
Yes, Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities. Actually, it's closer to probably 2.5 years ago.
Time flies when you're having
Yeah,
fun.
it does. I'm using that as reference because we've been at the courthouse doing construction for about 2 years, and it was prior to that. We did tear up a portion of the drive. We did inspect the inlets. We did improve the connection. Unfortunately, the drain is undersized, not the inlet, but the actual drain that ties it to the storm sewer is undersized. So when we have heavy downpours, it does flood, but usually the flood's gone within 15 minutes of the heavy downpour end. But the inlets themselves have been inspected and they are in good shape.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't redo the parking lot and then 6 months later have to dig it all back up. So,
Well, in that lot, is specifically what the project is going to be, is the curbs along the sidewalk next to the building are crumbling. And that is to replace those curbs. That's the extent of the work in that lot. And then the upper lot, and I'm not trying to speak for Kurt, but in the upper lot, it's the same situation. The curbs are crumbling, and so we're trying to address that more so than anything else. The lots themselves are in good shape.
okay, thank you. Any other questions?
None.
No. I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Cook and a second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. Next item, please.
C6, consider approval of a project budget and a request to solicit construction bids for a pavement replacement project on Southeast Croco Road near Southeast 21st Street, south side of KTA's I-470 bridge. Construction will be paid using 2025 Public Works operational funds.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. This is, again, similar to what we did a couple years ago between the I-335, I-470 bridge, and then the I-70 bridge. We're going to completely remove the existing pavement down to the base rock. We're going to be very ginger on the base rock and not disturb it any more than we absolutely have to. And then we're going to build back full-depth asphalt. It's what we did here a few years ago has performed well. We'd like to replicate that success here on the south side of the KTA bridge. One thing that we have added to the project since I last came before you, we are going to include the intersection pavement at Southeast 21st. In the overall scheme, it's not a significant change, but I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Commissioner Cook.
Does this close Croco Road?
No, we will do the work under traffic.
So we're going to go all the way to the base and keep it open at the same time?
You know, it's wide enough. There's enough lanes in there and with a wide shoulder that we can move traffic back and forth, and we can accomplish what we need at one lane at a time or 2 lanes at a time.
Okay.
So there'll be head-to-head traffic, or they may be separated out on the ends, but there's a way for us to do what we need to do while traffic can get through. And again, I wanted to do this project before I-70 is closed, because I suspect with I-70 closing that Croco Road will pick up traffic from Southeast 45th and Southeast 29th Street. So we're thinking, and I know it's an inconvenience, but we're trying to get some work done before I-70 is closed.
And it's possibly truck traffic too.
Yes, right.
So when we approved the 29th and Auburn project, The asphalt out there, I believe you called for a soil stabilization grid or whatever at the
Yeah,
bottom. I don't
right.
remember what the proper name is.
It's in the
but
base itself.
Is that going to be on this as well?
No, we won't need to use something like that.
Okay, is that just
We're
because
gonna
of the
use a
thickness,
deeper
or-
mat of asphalt.
Okay. Sure.
Kurt, how long do you anticipate this project taking?
Well, that's a good question. I'm hoping it won't be more than, gosh, let me look here and see if I have it in my pack. Okay, so we're gonna let this project
June
on, it varies. We're gonna give the contractor like a 30-day window to start the project. And once work starts, it looks like completion will be, if work starts June 9th, completion is August 22nd.
It's not bad.
Yeah, about 6 weeks or so. Any other questions? All right, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. A marathon for you.
Yep.
Next item, please.
D, Parks and Recreation. 1, consider approval of contract C78-2025 with Cunningham Recreation through the Omnia Coop for the purchase and installation of a shade structure in the Lake Shawnee off-leash dog area, utilizing previously awarded CIP funds, $5,487.39, and Parkland Acquisition Funds, District 7, $14,499.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. Yes, one of the constant requests that we've received since opening this dog park is some additional shade. So we would like to install this shade structure. And as the clerk mentioned, we do have a little bit of funds left over from our Parks and Playgrounds CIP item a couple of years ago. And then the rest will be through the Parkland Acquisition Funds. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions?
Will this shade structure be accessible then?
It will be, yeah. Have a concrete base and there'll be sidewalk leading up to it.
Okay,
Don't have any other questions?
all right, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Next item, please.
All right, I do not believe we had any public comment.
We did not have anybody signed up.
All right, item 6, administrative communications.
I know that we do have a few people wanting to do administrative communications.
Jump in front of anybody. Hello, Commissioners. Good morning. Dylan Hart with Shawnee County Department of Emergency Management. So I just wanted to come up here again today and let people know we're still within the Kansas Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Today we will talk about hail and wind safety. Obviously, recently we've been dealing with a lot of wind, high wind and hazards. And then tomorrow we will end with lightning safety. Yesterday we had tornado safety, and again, like I talked about on Monday, National Weather Service within their region canceled the statewide tornado drill. And I just want to say again, I hope everybody took that time to think about what they would do in case of a tornado when they're alerted of a warning or if they're outside and hear those sirens. I can say that emergency management itself took that time to start the process of designing a drill exercise that we could possibly take to every department in Shawnee County, so that next year when we have that, we can make sure that we can go through with that and make sure that our county is prepared. Also, I wanted to talk about, since we had high wind and fire danger possibilities, I just wanted to go over a little bit that with some fire safety, you should make sure to discard cigarettes appropriately, don't burn outdoors, and avoid activities that could spark a fire. Now, if you do need to burn, there are a couple ways you can go about finding out if you can or how to do that appropriately. You can go to the City of Topeka webpage if you're within Topeka, and there are rules and information on that, as well as burn applications. And if you're outside of Topeka, you can contact your local fire district or fire station. Now, on a positive note, weather-related, it's going to start heating up a little bit. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to be 73, 76 with some sunshine. Still breezy, but that's a good chance on your lunch break. Go out, take a walk. After work, take your kids or dog to the park. So I wanted to make sure to end on that happy note, weather-related. So I am here for any questions.
Any questions?
Don't have any.
All right.
Thank you.
Hopefully all the
Thank you.
blizzards are behind us.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Commissioner Cook,
I don't have anything additional.
Commissioner Rippon?
I don't have anything.
All right. I don't either. Next item, please.
Executive session?
So I hadn't planned on it, but I do want to have an executive session today for personnel matters of non-elected officials, not to exceed, let's just say 15 minutes, and we'll begin that at 9:40. So I would move that we go to executive session.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mays, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes 3-0. All right, and we'll be in executive
I don't know.
We are back from executive session. No action was taken, so we are adjourned.
Very good. Jeff asked me anything about